Supreme Islam, Khalik Asil, Fifth Element Hip Hop, Supreme Islam, Khalik Asil, Fifth Element Hip Hop. That's got a little echo right there. Divine Seven, Divine God, Wise You, True Foods, Shakim, Divine Truth. A few more people are coming. Coming down to the nitty-gritty. It's really feel. Look at this right here. That story right here from VC Realm. Watson, Zigzag Zigala, SW. Got a story here from VC Realm. An Instagram post from JT, the bigger figure. And this appears to be an Italian movie with Renato Salvatore and Ugo Gregoretti. And the name of the movie is Omicron. Omicron. And the movie is about an alien parasite that takes over the human host. I told you I get very some interesting stories. Huh? You know, VC Realm is definitely one of my conspiracy theorists. But curious coinky-dink right there. Curious coinky-dink. Not rule. Let's see what we got from Knowledge Born. Knowledge Born sent me some story. I'm checking them right now in real time. Now this one I actually did open it, but I didn't get a chance to read it. But this is quite a headline. FBI and other agencies paid informants $548 million in recent years, with many committing authorized crimes. Imagine that. So we have, it's interesting. Leave those alone because I can't bring up. Yeah, Shaquem, that's what I'm saying. That's an interesting little turn of events right there, that it would be the same, the same, name, that it would actually be very similar to what is going on. I just something to pass some time and keep them up.
You gotta stop talking since she's coming to the door. And as soon as she came in, she's had to stop. The new thing is Steve said he's not coming back.
$793. I'm about to take my vitamins. I ended up fasting 2 days last week. So I missed that day, but I still end up getting in 4 days for the month. And now I'm about to prepare my vitamins. My vitamins. You gotta get your vitamins from my teeth. My teeth got his own vitamins. I can't recall the name of his site. But I'm sure when he comes in, he'll make knowledge point on that. Complete. So you got to get the powder from our teach website. Just mix it with water and shake it up. Sure would do. I know I'm not I just stay away from a lot of processed food and exercise. So I'll get all it down to the compound of each food. I like these drinks though. We got different flavors like orange and tangy tangerine and all that. It comes in, it drops signs. You said you legal shield or eagle shield? Complete some doing the knowledge to legal shield. All right. Yeah, now what's legal shield? Where does it shield you from? We might do the each one, teach one, man. Hit the like button so our alerts can go out. We still missing some people. We send the alerts out, we get our teeth in here to drop a couple jewels on us. What is this? Is legal shield? Is it it's an app version and update of prepaid legal. What's prepaid legal? Is it like Legal Zoom? Legal Zoom is actually good. Like, I don't know how like what's the ultimate level they take it to. Like, you could get like if you had a lawsuit or something like that, but I've never heard of a lawsuit arising from the stuff that they do. Knowledge of I said prepaid legal, I'm good. Well, what is prepaid legal? Maybe I'm not understanding. Like I said, is it like Legal Zoom? Yeah, Legal Zoom, like they provide you with legal services. Like say if you go to Legal Zoom to incorporate say you go to Legal Zoom to incorporate a business, right? Legal Zoom will make sure that you got all the I's and T's dotted. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll charge you probably $400 or $500. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how much of their services that you take. But you know, in terms of making sure you got all your licenses, that you in compliance with everything in the industry that you're going into, you know, or any contracts you might need, any agreements, like say if you're going into business with a person, LegalZoom will make sure y'all got all the contracts that y'all need right and exact. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, even, you know, if you was doing music for somebody, if you sold somebody a beat or something, you know what I'm saying? And you know, you could get an agreement from LegalZoom. You know what I mean? It was started by some people that was they was like big in the legal field. I can't recall their name, but they got like big names, you know, representing big cases and everything. And you know, it's one of those things where, you know, you use it to protect yourself. I know you can use it to protect yourself, you know, to avoid any lawsuits. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much I don't know how much they would represent you. You know what I mean? Like if you do get a lawsuit, I don't know if it's good to say, okay, yeah, I got LegalZoom going in court. You know what I mean? But SW is saying right here that the courts in Newark, New Jersey actually use LegalZoom. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, like, yeah, District 120, see, yeah, they help you get all your forms and let you know, like, all right, these are the things you could do, and these are the things you can't do. You know what I mean? This is how you set everything up so that you don't get in trouble, taxes, everything, they hook you up. You know what I'm saying? But what is Legal Shield? Prepaid Legal went out of business because they were trying to strictly do the pyramid. Shields you from traffic tickets, criminal cases, whatever, just you pay every month. Warning you truth, if you need them for a small fee on top of your monthly payment, so the lawyers in prepaid legal, you saying was top-notch lawyers. But I don't understand what they're saying. It shields you from traffic tickets and criminal cases, like how it shields you. Oh, so this place is like LegalZoom. Oh, so Legal Shield is like, so prepaid legal and Legal Shield is two separate things. He send attorneys, but I mean, like I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. Uh, like, let's say right now, you was the McMichaels, right? The McMichaels from the Ahmaud Arbery case. You saying it's a way they could have went through this company right here and not got charged with. That's what I'm saying. Shields. You gotta drop the science, man. Maybe they got down there. They got Johnny Cochran. Is that really what happened? Because you know we in that type of time right now where you know everybody's like Elvis. Is that we really Johnny Cochran really just opened up a company You send out a lawyer, be the airtight case for you. So Legal Shield, is it more because Legal Zoom is more about business law? I don't really know of them. You know what I mean? Contracts is contracts. You know what I mean? Agreements is agreements. You know what I mean? But you know, there's a little, you know, you don't want to go, you know, not in New York. You don't want to go in a New York criminal court with a corporate lawyer. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the problems you go in there with Crump. Where you practice law at before this? You look him up. Name Benjamin. I want to look at his own site. Trial lawyer for justice. What the fuck is that? Car accident. You see? You see? Oh man. What's wrong with you black people, man? What's wrong with you black people, man? And that's from his own site. BenCrump.com. Benjamin Crump represents clients in some of the most important and contentious cases of our times, taking place in legal history with his pursuit of justice. His role in the Trayvon Martin Lee Anderson boot camp, Janny Liggins, State of Oklahoma versus Daniel Holzclaw, and Robbie Tolan cases shows a legacy built around the idea that the Constitution applies to everyone at every level of society. So you choose to chase ambulances in your spare times. It's like a hobby. Ben Crump has broken barriers in several legal organizations, serving as the first African-American president of the Federal Bar Association for the Northern District of Florida and the first African-American chairman of Florida State University College of Law Board of Directors. He is a member of the American Bar Association, American Association for Justice, the Florida Justice Association, and many other groups dedicated to the law and pursuit of justice. All right, now these are some accomplishments, but you know, at the time you have these appointees. talking about being on TV. That's who y'all got on your side. That's who y'all got on your side. Truth Rules said, correct me if I'm wrong, is today's topic the forgotten prophet. Trump is your child, man. He's on your side. That is crazy. But actually, yeah, though, that is the topic of today's live, the forgotten prophet. This used to be a Hotep channel. I'm all the way out the whip now, though. Young Pharaoh got arrested now. I'm out the whip. Like you gotta tell sometimes when the ship be sinking. It's like right now, you want to go to jail, be Hotep. So I'm out the whip. But the forgotten prophet is my mother. You see, both of my parents, you know what I'm saying, my father and my mother, that's the knowledge and wisdom since my planet was first founded. That's the sun and moon that had attracting power on my planet. You understand what I'm saying? But, I talk about my pops all the time. So I figured I'd dedicate this whole show right here to my mom. She don't watch. But fuck it. We still, because she is, she played a part. There was things that I can't say how she knew, but she knew that. You know what I mean? She made a couple of moves, like I was telling the brothers on the last live, that's who taught me how to read. So she taught me how to read so long before I got to school that I really don't recall when I learned. Like I remember learning how to read. I remember knowing how to read. And I remember when I got to school and everybody else was learning the alphabet, I was way out of there. You know what I'm saying? And she, when she did that, another thing she did was at that point, she taught me how to not take things on face value. You know what I'm saying? That to kind of figure out my own way. Like she taught me what the signs is and everything. Like if you get lost, you don't know what's going on, just read the signs. You know how to read for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And about instructions. So see, when I got to the 1 and 10, and I seen where it said, the following lesson must be learned 100% before submitting to students to say lesson number 1. See, I understood that to be instructions. When I first got to school, because I could read the instructions and I could do the work, I used to get in trouble for that. They'd give me a workbook and I go home and do the whole workbook the first day. And, another thing she did, she got me the whole Encyclopedia Britannica. She got me the whole encyclopedia, me and my little sister. I had the official Encyclopedia Britannica, and she had like the junior version with the pictures. And I read the whole shit. You know, so that was another thing that when I came into the knowledge, right, I had all this information. I didn't know what it meant. So see, when I met the guys and they talking about all this stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, I know about that. You see, like I said, that's the difference between supreme mathematics and arithmetic. It has meaning. You understand what I mean? It shows you the connections between all things in the universe and how these things relate. See, that was just one particular kind of, you just reading and you studying and you learning about things, but now what? How do you use that? You know what I'm saying? I had a computer way back in the day too. I had a Commodore 64 and a TRS-80 when it was in the back of the Superman, comic books. I remember when the lady came to the house with the encyclopedia, I thought my mom was gonna fight her. Because she was talking, she just, just the way my mom was looking at us. And then at the end, she just got to. You know what I'm saying? She strapped me up. You know what I'm saying? She knew she couldn't come to the okay with me. But she hit me with the all the tools that I was going to need to survive in whatever realm I was going to go into. Because she told me that. She gave me an Arabic honorable name in my little system. But when I got the knowledge, then she says, I knew you was going to explore Islam. So would you let me waste that 14 years doing that for if you knew I was going to, what was the point of that? But, shout out to the forgotten prophet that a lot of times, you don't think, but that, see, like I said, that's the beginning of civilization. See, a lot of times we only count the very end. You see what I mean? The knowledge of self and the science of everything in life. I recall when I first found out it was okay to fight. Back then, my mom used to have these days, like just when she used to take me school shopping, right? When people was talking about the penny loafers, I was saying after my man came with the nickel and his penny loafers, then I started rocking a nickel and moms. But I remember, it used to be days that it used to be certain days because whenever she would make me get the penny loafers and like some khakis and shit like that, button down shirts and shit, whenever as soon as we get to the house, I put that shit all the way to the back of the closet. Like I ain't wearing that. You know what I'm saying? To take that out of rotation, I don't know why you got it. But every blue moon, she'll make me wear it. Just for whatever reason. You wear sneakers every day. You wear those dress-up clothes, those dress clothes. Go to school looking nice for a change. It's nice every day. We talking about. But it was a day like that, right? Because, back then, the main thing, I'm going to school. Like I said, I'm not learning nothing because she already taught me everything that, they try to teach me now at school and shit. So on this particular day, I had got into a fight and the kid jacked up my clothes. You know how people grab your clothes? Somehow, whatever happened, I know my clothes that, these particular clothes, that's the reason you had those clothes on, because you ain't supposed to be roughhousing a bit. And it was one of them things where, it was like a TV show where, I came in the house and she was just walking past me, right? And it was like, out of just the whole, automatically she seen it. Like that was the first thing. As soon as she looked, what happened to your shirt? So I was like, I got into a fight. And she said, well, why was you fighting? And the reason I had got into the fight, the kid said, whatever was the conversation, kid said your mama. So, we talking about first grade, something like that. And she just walked off. And she didn't say nothing. It was like, oh, work. She just, and right then I knew, like, oh, it's all right to fight. I never got in trouble for that. Like a teacher call the house and say that, it's like, yeah, tell people to leave them alone. Something else, like I ain't do my homework or something, now we got issues. She made sure my sword was sharp. So for that, we dedicate this show right here to the forgotten prophet, my whole earth. Where's our teeth? My teeth ain't come in yet. So he can tell you about his vitamins. Who we got who came in? Having truth rules. See, that's another science to that in terms of your learning and your teaching. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just like with school. You know what I'm saying? You got some teachers that they don't have the temperament. They can't deal with like kindergartens. You know what I'm saying? You know, the knowledge that they have is tremendous, but you got to be a little more advanced. You got to already have some of the basics of being civilized and behaving in a civilized manner already down pat. But they can't deal with you know. And then you got some teachers, right, that they great with kids. Like they can get the kids to sit down, they can get them to learn their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and you know, on the first ladder, but they don't have a whole lot of knowledge. Like by the time the child gets, you know, to the 6th grade, you know, they can't teach on that level. They don't really have that type of knowledge where it's like, okay, after this, you know, now we going into algebra and chemistry and things that they might don't know about that, but they good. So you got the same thing in the knowledge. You got some people, they very good. You can send them into an ocean of 85%. And they will come back with no less than 5%. Some of them are so good, they'll come back with 50, 60, 70, 80% of the people. That's the limit. Once those people start studying a little bit of lessons and they get to a certain point, you know, then the person they don't have you know, a great understanding, right? A very intricate understanding. You know what I'm saying? You know, just like I said, you know, when you're dealing with 196,940,000, right? That's the general whole thing. See, some people could break it down to the land and water. Some people could break it down to the bodies of water, right? And the bodies of land. And some people can't do that. So it's the same thing. You have a 1st grade teacher, 2nd grade teacher, 3rd grade teacher. You understand what I'm saying? You know, that was like my preschool teacher. So it's the same thing when, you know, when you come into this knowledge, right? You get the knowledge, you know, this person right here might be the first person that influenced you, right? But then this person over here might be the person that really increased your knowledge. Like this might be the person, like this person, he put you in the realm and let you know who the Asiatic black man is. We really talking about, yo, all right, you know, boom, you know, different books that you might read, you know, information that you go to research or whatever and show and prove as knowledge, that might be somebody else. You see what I'm saying? And then who really show you how to speak it and express it. You understand what I'm saying? You know, that's more of an experience right there, first of all. That's not something I could just write down on a paper and tell you, say it like this or say it like that. You understand what I'm saying? So those people that you be amongst, that you have that experience where you learn how to, you know, express everything. Nah, get out of here. Get out. Oh yeah, the person who's showing you how to express, you know what I'm saying? That experience might be another person that you go amongst. You understand what I'm saying? And then you may have an individual, right, who, you know, they see things clearly. And you had the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? You had the knowledge and wisdom and everything. You had all this information, but you never looked at it from all the angles. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody show you the angles. Somebody show you how to, okay, boom, we got this fact right here and we got this fact right here. Now let's look at them from this angle over here and see how they line up. You understand what I'm saying? Some people, that doesn't mean it. For those that don't know, I have no idea what she's talking about. But look, I don't want no trouble. You know what I'm saying? But just saying that, you know, just like each one of those aspects of the mathematics, right? You gotta, that's what you gotta learn each one of them things. It might be a different person. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and then you have those diamonds. You know what I'm saying? You got those people that can do it all. You know what I'm saying? You know, they can, you know, take people from scratch. You know what I'm saying? From, you know, you suited and booted, going to congregation, you know, whatever congregation. There's some people that can take you from there all the way through college. See, because even you will realize that, you understand what I mean, in your studies, you see what I mean, that is people that we hear, you know, we all started out in preschool in terms of knowledge, we all was in the first grade together. And I was getting the knowledge, he was getting the knowledge. There's people like that, a lot of people. There's a brother, right? He came around here. Look, I had to tell him. But like I said, he said, I know him from back in the days, but I had to tell him. Listen, you spent more time here than me. Like I was doing my thing out there in the streets. You was here all day. You still work with Khalid when he had the store with it. So you here all day, he said. You tell him, well, listen, and then when I get here at night, you still here. So we talking, you know, 15, 18 hours a day. You spending around Firstborn Prince, Dumar, Colleen, Elisha, you know, Melson, El Naheem, Najee, the who's who, baby. Like when I come in from the field saying, you here, what me tell you, what you want me to tell you now? If you came to me to get on point, get what? Tell you to stop bullshit? Because what I'm gonna tell you that you didn't hear? Because you need some kind of inspiration? That's on 6th Avenue. Shout out to my brothers over there in the NOI. This is 126th Street and 7th Avenue. If you need inspiration, go over to 127th Street and 6th Avenue. Our brothers over there, they got a program for you. Exactly, he know what the fuck he got to do. You see, that's what I'm saying. we started out in the first grade together. Then you got left back. See, that's it. Listen, every part of the school. See, and don't get me wrong, this is in my mind. This is what I'm saying. You know, I'm not saying that this is, but this is the reality, man. There's parts of the school that's elementary school. There's conversations that people have, right? There's ciphers that's an elementary school cipher. And then there's doctorate level ciphers. And see, if you was in elementary, you didn't go on the roof. Elementary, you can't, the vans that was in the back, nah. You gotta, you know, that's like high school. That was like high school level. You understand what I mean? But like I said, now look, the head start that I had from my preschool, right, with my mom, that was something that the people like Dumont, right, they, you know, right, they got some raw material here they can shape and mold. Because I already know things, I already got certain basics. So especially when you're talking to somebody like Dumont, we're like saying, you better have wings, man. Because we about to go up, man. Yeah, we about to fly like an eagle out here. Nah, this van wasn't white. This is back. I doubt. Well, now it's people in the room that had the knowledge, but we talking about it's like 89, 90. When, you know, I'm coming at that time, you know, I'm not saying nothing. You know, I'm coming down to, you know, this is where the philosopher's stone. This is where the philosopher's stone is and shit. You understand what I'm saying? So you gotta come down here to sharpen your blade. That's how I looked at it. You see what I'm saying? It's even people, right, that you are exposed to the knowledge, right? And they're not going to listen to you. And then they're going to go get exposed to somebody else, right? Get the knowledge, and then come back and ask you, yo, remember you was telling, yeah, we got the knowledge now, yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. See, because like I said, we on all different levels, you know, of preparedness and consciousness. You understand what I'm saying? People is inhabiting all different planets. See, like that was something that Prince had on cap. There's other people that had it on cap, but that was one thing he was always something he always pointed out is how long it took sunlight to reach each planet. Like those that have scratched, those that have begun to scratch below the surface in terms of showing improving these lessons, right? Knows that it takes light 8 minutes and 20 seconds or 500 seconds to reach the planet Earth. But God knew for each planet, because those is dealing with certain mindsets of people, certain characteristics and abilities. You understand what I'm saying? The characteristic and ability, right, to bring forth life is the planet Earth. That's the characteristic and ability of the planet Earth. So when you're talking to different people, right, sometimes you got to give the light a chance to reach the planet, to reach the state of mind that they're in. Because a person could be standing right next to you, but their state of mind could be a billion miles away. What's the characteristic of that planet, right? Is it a hot planet? That see your wisdom, you try to express something to a person in that state of mind, right? They react all fiery. Then another person, their state of mind is dealing with the frozen planet. So when you express your light to that person, the person got to thaw out they mindset, they got to warm up to the idea. So see, sometimes you got to understand that, right? And manifest your knowledge and wisdom, because see, you will end up getting to the point, right, where you beating the person in the head, right? You beating the person in the head because they not gonna warm up to it right now. Or, you understand what I'm saying? You could reach the point where, because your time and technique, see all these different things when you're dealing with the build degree, and it's telling you about how you manifest your light and wisdom, right? The light and the water and the atmosphere that you manifesting it in. This is just an extension of that, right? Saying for each different planet. See, all of these different signs, you got to acknowledge these things by the degrees. I'm not saying by now. Well, yeah, you got to knowledge by 120 degrees, or that's how I came in tune with it. But I'm saying, you got to. These is all worlds from highest to lowest. So whatever it is, just like, we have knowledge, we got knowledge, by degrees. Some people got street knowledge. You can go in that world, right? And you hit. Some people have academic knowledge, but they got the whole thing memorized. They can tell you, all the technicalities of something. And you got people that have experiential knowledge, but they can't really explain it, but the way how you're doing it, that ain't right. So trust me. That's not gonna work. But do we have any questions out there? Do we have I saw. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since you've been in here with us. You said, did you watch any of the Ghostface and Raekwon on Drink Champs? No, I didn't see it. Is Ghost Muslim or God? I'm pretty sure he's Muslim. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's the best person to ask for, you know, an update. I'm not really interested in a lot of what comes on there. You know what I'm saying? You know, but you know, it's one of them things though, you know, I understand. I think I understand now. You know what I'm saying? See, it's like certain people, right? They embody like a 5%. Like they was like just a shining example of a 5%. You know what I'm saying? You know, like for me, it was just certain people that, you know how they say, like, yo, look, if you was doing a movie, and you wanted somebody to play at 5%, that there's some people that's like, yo, they just came out of casting central. They was born to be a 5%. They had to look, they had to walk, they had to talk. They just, you know, that person just influenced and inspired you. You know what I'm saying? And then that person turns out not to be a 5%. See, the difference is, I understand now. See, the difference is, I had that experience with real people. See, a lot of these artists that came out, you gotta remember, they came out, you know, most of the ones that we really talk about, they came out in the late 80s and the 90s. So I already had the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them, you know, they used to come around us to build. You understand what I'm saying? So I never really looked at them like that. But I had some experiences like that. Like one of the first brothers that I knew, right, that I used to maintain with, that he walked with Allah. Like he had the knowledge, I think, in 1965. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that was a different experience to be with somebody, know somebody, and be walking every day next to somebody, right? Who's saying, you know, well, you know, yeah, you know, Allah used to say, or yeah, you was with Allah over there, like, oh, that, you know what I'm saying? That was, you know, you gotta remember we talking, well, yeah, I don't have to tell you. You know, it was less time, but yeah, we talking about I'm dealing with something, and you know, the founder, you know, he returned to essence before I was even came on this plane. So, you know, that was like impressive and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, he was somebody that's like, yo, I looked forward to the days that he came to the park and shit. At that time, we used to be around Pole Park over there, around La Rajima. And, you know, La Rajim, you know, a lot of brothers used to come around to see him. You know, they was all older brothers. So, you know, all of them, you know, I looked up to them, you know what I'm saying? They was the guys, you know what I'm saying? When, you know, we were going through the lessons, these brothers, like I said, these brothers is showing me the angles and all of this. You understand what I mean? And I never forget, one day, we was walking down the street, and brother says, something about smoked turkey, right? He says, I can't recall exactly how it could, but the gist of what he was saying is that he put the smoked turkey in his food because it tastes like ham hocks. That's what he was suggesting to me, that I put smoked turkey in my food because it tastes like pork. And that shit fucked me up. It fucked me up because, you know, I'm thinking, why would I want my food to taste like pork? Why would I want something like that? But I'm just saying, you know, yeah, that shit broke my heart. Like it was you know, I was crushed a little bit inside and shit. Like, damn, guy, you know, and later on from that, he went back to the mosque. Last time I seen him was across the street. Those that had the knowledge for long enough recalls when the bodega was across the street. If you come here now, it's on the corner over there on 127th Street. It used to be right across the street here between 126 and 127. For a time. When I first got the knowledge, it was on that corner too. You know what I'm saying? And I seen him over there, right? And I had heard that he was Muslim now. You know what I'm saying? And then I seen him walking across the street. And it was like, you know, just the fact that you walking across the street, like right across the street, and you're not going by the school. Now, don't get me wrong, you have brothers like R.I. Heyman and they used to do that, but they used to rest across the street. So they pretty much, that's their post. But for him to do that, it was like, yeah, that says a lot. You know what I mean? And, you know, yeah, to this day, I'm sure y'all can tell just by how I'm talking about it, that, you know, that was uh, I don't know what the word is. It was traumatic. That was traumatic. You know what I'm saying? It was you know, yeah, it's a little bit of sense of betrayal, even though it's like he didn't give me pig. You understand what I mean? So just saying that, well, let me ask, is that what y'all saying? You know, like when, you know, because it don't affect me. Like when Lord Jamar starts talking crazy, you know, he never, like here in New York, you understand what I mean? Amongst the contemporary brothers at that time, he wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Or, even like you're saying, most of the members of Wu-Tang, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't like somebody like, you know, like our brother King Asiatic. It's like, yeah, you know that whole town right there? Yeah, King Asiatic. So that's King Asiatic, but nah, I'm joking. You know, they wasn't like that. So it didn't, but you know, that's the question though. Is that how it is for y'all? Like when y'all find out that these you know, and they entertainers, let's keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Like we know these people from TV. That I know them personally, you know, the people that we're talking about. But I'm saying, you know, generally speaking, most people, you know them from TV. So, you know, like right now, should I think, Cardi B is really, you know, you understand what I'm saying? Like I know her from TV. So I don't know what the case is. I don't know if it's this or if it's not that. Yes, I mean, well, I don't particularly watch Cardi B, but I'm saying it's entertainment. Please said I went to the school to make sure I understood what I was noticing as being inherent differences between myself and the so-called true and living I have been around. I went through some worlds. Yeah, that's another thing that I seen happen. It actually happens a lot. The facts is that with this knowledge, man, we teach everybody. We teach the world. You understand what I'm saying? And so because there's kind of there's no initiation to this. You understand what I'm saying? I've seen I've seen a lot of good ciphers, right, get destroyed by negative brothers. Like they was some good brothers. They was teaching this shit. They was out there, you know what I'm saying, in the world being gods. And then they taught an individual or brought an individual around them and they ciphered and the shit that person was about started destroying the cipher. And then I seen it go the other way. Right? Where a good brother, right, it's like he get the knowledge with the people that he know that got the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Like the people from his block or whatever, that's who get him the knowledge, right? But those niggas ain't no good. They not even really 5%. They 5% in name only. And so, you see them, every time you see them, right, that cipher of gods, right? Like I seen that where these brothers never know their lessons. This particular cipher of brothers is like when as soon as we see them, when I see them, oh yeah, we about to kill a good hour and a half right now. I'm about to go chief examiner on them. And then sometimes out of that cipher, it would be the one brother who just got the knowledge. He'd be on point. He always know his lessons. But because he's around these dudes that ain't no good, right? He end up falling with the cipher. So, you have all these different, all these different experiences, after a while it start to let you know what I mean? But I mean, if that's the case of what y'all saying, you know what I'm saying? I understand that aspect. I see what it is. It's just that two things, I think, you know what I'm saying? Number one, growing up in New York in the era that I did, right? It was common to see famous people. Like, there still was a lot of famous people in Harlem, you know what I mean? And just, everybody, because like, see, for instance, my grandparents was the first one that came on. So they was here when everything happened, all of the, from Ella Fitzgerald to James Brown to, everybody who came through the Apollo. You understand what I'm saying? And they had stories with all these different people. One time they was going to see if they was going to buy a house in the suburbs. And when they got there to the real estate place, Jackie Robinson and Floyd Patterson was there doing some real estate business. So my uncles met Jackie Robinson and Floyd Patterson when they was like 6, 7 years old. You know what I mean? And that was like a common thing. You know what I'm saying? When you went to 42nd Street, you saw all the rappers from Biz to Kumo D, whoever. When you went to the Dukes, you saw everybody. T. Rock used to live around the whole old school pretty much lived around my way. You know what I'm saying? Not the whole old school. Because I didn't know African Bambaataa at all. But so for that reason, I'm just saying that famous people, I think, have a little bit less impact on me because I've been around them. You know what I'm saying? Like in that era of New York, everybody didn't, like right now where everybody move around with bodyguards and shit like that. Like now you should see like Danny Aiello just walking down the street. Dead ass. I used to know Danny Aiello. Like not like I had his digits and I used to call him and go to his crib and that. But when I seen him on the street, it's like, oh shit, what's up? You know what I'm saying? He used to know me, yo, it's my man right here, yo, we used to kick it and shit. You know what I'm saying? Ron Cuby was my man and shit. Oh shit, that's right, Biz returned and shit, man. Shout out to Biz. You know what I'm saying? But going to Albee Square Mall, Fulton Mall, you see everybody. You know what I'm saying? Fordham Road, who's who. These people, we went to school together. I'm saying like just that era. A lot of people like RZA, Old Dirty, I knew them way before music. Or way before Wu-Tang, bro. They was all doing music already. But you know what I'm saying? So people having that aura don't, I don't think I look at it the same. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that it's not a unique experience for me. That's just how New York City was. Like I said, everybody didn't move around with bodyguards and all that shit like that, and police details. You know what I'm saying? Like it's even a story, one of these documentaries I was watching, and they was talking about how James Brown came to make the song Black and Proud. Is that like H-Rap Brown, I think they said. I think they said it was H-Rap Brown, but it was one of them Panther brothers. They rolled up on him on the street and was like, yo, we on the front lines out here, G. You know what I'm saying? Like we getting busy for a cause. And what's this shit you doing, man? Like we understand all your lover boy shit, but you gotta make something. You gotta make something, man, that goes with what we dealing with out here, man. Like we out here going in, you gotta go in too. I saw a show, it was a talk show, like maybe Dick Cavett or one of them shows that was on back in the days. And James Brown had just got rid of his perm and he had the regular afro. And they asked him, yo, what happened to the perm? Why you got the afro now? And he was like, that's how, the brothers is out there in the streets right now and, get busy on some black shit. And that's just how it is right now. You understand what I'm saying? You know, we had more access to these people. You understand what I'm saying? There's a club, you know, a lot of y'all probably seen it, the Linux Lounge right here. What's my man? Sugar Ray Robinson used to own that club. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm just saying that that was a more just a common New York, you know, I'm not like that person that, you know what I'm saying? Like if you, you know, talk to anybody from that era, if they lived in New York City, they'll tell you, oh yeah, all these people, you know what I'm saying? You remember the girl from Belly, DMX's wife in Belly? She went to high school with me. She was younger. She was in the Bronx Tale too. I think that's how she started. But that's what I'm saying. It's a whole bunch of people. Hicks, yeah, her. You know what I'm saying? I'll be sure, Heavy D, all types of motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about her. I know her. I knew her in high school. But I'm saying there's lots of people like that. Yeah, Terrell, that was her name. But yeah, I forgot my other point that I was making. I got caught up too much in that one in terms of, you know, why in particular the people on TV you know, kind of turn out to not be, you know, because see, and that's the thing about the 5%, that, you know, the 5% itself, it shows you how to weed shit like that out. See, because it's a primetime science. See what I'm saying? See, like this science is face to face. So there's just things, you know, saying that to say that there's things, right? There's got to be in real life too. Like there's people in the nation, right, that I never met. Like, you know, physically, I never met them and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's clear that, you know, this individual puts in work. Like it's just some people's names that ring bells. Like, you know, you hear in school, you know, people coming from around the world. Yo, you know, who gave you the knowledge? How you, some people's name ring bells. You still remember A-Sun Magnetic? I met him recently through the lives. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I met him when I went to DC. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I already knew who he was. Because when you start talking to people and they say how they got the knowledge, A-Sun magnetic name comes up. Born king up in Canada, born out in California. Certain people's names come up repeatedly. Like if that's not the person who gave them the knowledge, that's the person who gave the knowledge to the person that gave them. See, that's how you really know. If you just Dawood, yeah, Dawood was like that. I know you're talking about. I know the name. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying that to say, right, is if the only thing you can detect is that this person communicates this shit well on records. You understand what I'm saying? You fly with this, right? That don't necessarily translate. You understand what I'm saying? They don't necessarily translate over. You understand what I mean? It's just the same with, look, a lot of niggas is good with talking the gangster talk. It don't mean they really in a gang. You understand what I'm saying? Luther Vandross can sing about being in love with women. I think that's what he was saying. So see, that's where you got to be able to separate, right? This is where you separate, right? That fly talking, right? And that city science from that wisdom and high science. You see what I mean? See, that's that fine line where people say that, everything that sounds good is not necessarily good. It's not necessarily true. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just, that's a little hint and that ain't just with the knowledge. See, if you look at these charlatans over the centuries, it's like a motherfucker come around selling snake oil. All right, where's all the motherfuckers you hear? Just this motherfucker you got riding with you that he's here giving a testimony saying that he was dying and now you saved him. Where's the evidence that all the flies that you're saying is, look, even, you see, that's what I did with Benjamin Crump just now. Hey, I just don't like the way you talk. I don't like the way you look. You see, let's separate the bullshit from the real now. What you practice law? What kind of law do you practice? Where you practice law at? What you did? See, because if you planted a seed, right, and it didn't bear no fruit, guess what? It wasn't seed. So you could let a motherfucker plant blanks in your mind. You see, I already gave it. Look, I'm giving y'all some jury. This is jury right here. This some jury right here, man. I'm gonna give y'all this jewel. I'm gonna give y'all this random jewel one more time. If you want to see these motherfuckers coming, pay attention to your 21st degree to the 33rd degree. In the 136 and the 114. I mean, in the 136 and the 140. Sometimes a motherfucker might trip up and do one thing that it talks about in that. You see, motherfucker start doing shit that's on that list. Motherfucker started doing shit that it said Yakub and the devil was doing in those degrees. Don't even let this motherfucker do it, man. Listen, I'm not even gonna let you water that seed around me because I already know where it's going. And if it's not going there, I'm still good. Because it could have went there. I don't even need the hassle. I don't even need the hassle. I said I was born in 89. The woo, so the woo was important growing up. I don't really care for them anymore, especially after the breakdown. Yeah, that wasn't, but yeah, that's what that's what I'm explaining. Yeah. It's people that was important to me growing up, you know what I mean? And he was one. There's a couple other individuals, that end up disappointing me over the years, you know what I'm saying? Because I thought they was better than that, but Sham God said, I just seen a picture of that Cat Power down with the Woo wearing a cross. Yeah, I mean, you gotta remember that this is the real world, right? And so kind of the laws of social society exist. You understand what I'm saying? So when we talk about those days, right, in the 70s and 80s, et cetera, right, when it's all these guys and we building and we doing we doing what we supposed to be doing, right? You gotta remember that that's also because we are young, right? So being just by virtue that you got something that a whole bunch of young kids is doing and they excelling because of it, right? It's gonna become a fad. You're gonna have the people who come in because of the fad and fashion of it. Like there was literally places where it's like you couldn't really get on. You couldn't really, I don't want to say you couldn't come outside, but there was places that, listen, if you want to be moving out here in these streets, you better be 5%. So, you got lots of people, man. Listen, look, it happens to me all the time. You know what I mean? Shout out to my brother Kahi. But he's not the only one. Look, for those that don't have history and experience in the day, see, I got knowledge of the day. First start teaching him. Well, I received the mathematics in the I first started teaching everything. Now see, you Medina, right? It might be a brother. Let's just say it's complete. just for example, right? Somebody come, right? Let's say complete is standing right there on the corner. Somebody from Medina like Kanye comes up. I say, who that? And I say, well, that's the guy right there. That's complete. Kanye ain't gonna say, oh, who that? You know? I'm gonna say, yeah, I know the guy. You know, come on live and shit. I've been with the guy. And then he's gonna say, I'm saying you build with him on 120, you know his lessons. Now see, at that point, because I know the rules and I know how this thing go. See, I had to say, well, nah, I don't. You see what I'm saying? Because see, once you say, well, yeah, you don't pussy, that means you must say, damn. So you got a lot of other places where it's a little more camaraderie. You know, it's a little more, you know, you can just come around and but see, nah, Virginia, now we need to know who you are. See, especially because down there, you know, at least, you know, up until the time when I was coming up, everybody is either related or grew up with each other. Like Hashim, the first baby born nation I went to high school with, especially. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody know each other from way back. So see, when you come on the set, you know what I mean? And then there's some other history that occurred down there too. That's not for YouTube. You understand what I'm saying? Where an individual, you know, maybe that should have been examined more, you know, did the wrong thing. And so, you know, you gotta remember that, man. It's just like, to me, that's how it is. Like, that's how life is. You know, welcome to being a 5%. Like when you did you see the movie The Education of Sonny Carson? Shamgar? Lord, I care in peace. Shamgar King said he near 50. So yeah, you definitely saw The Education of Sonny Carson. And that's how life is. You know, I'm gonna just articulate it, but I'm sure you know that, you know, being a 5%, once you get out of high school, right? Once you leave high school, it's like when Sonny Carson came home out of jail. Every day is like that. Remember Sonny Carson came home, was like, yo, where's the gang? Where's everybody at? And it's like, yo, you know, when he saw the dude, and he was a full-blown junkie. Like, you went into shit that, you know, we used to be together talking about how niggas that do that is all fucked up. But come out, you fucked up on that, son. Like me and you sat here, you know, in 23 degrees, son. Before the wind chill, son. We stood at 23 degrees before the wind chill, G. before you take away the wind chill for the temperature, son, we stood out there, son, and had ciphers where we went through every lesson, son, and spoke about how supreme the understanding was and how we stand on the square and we the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, father, civilization, and God of the universe. And how he likes the devil because the devil gives them nothing. Did they receive more gold? And then I see you, some people, look, another person that, look, I looked up to the brother. He was the brother that told me that the lessons was written in different years. Like at first, when I got the knowledge, it's saying the lesson was written in 1934. But so when I moved from the 1 to 14, when I moved from the 1 to 14 to the 1 to, when I moved from the 1 to 30, no, when I moved from the 1 to 14 to the 1 to 40, right? I noticed that it said the year 1 was 15,019 years ago, right? And then when I get to the 1 to 40, it says the year 1 is 15,020 years ago. You understand what I mean? So like I saying, of course, because I look up to him as one of the guys and shit, you know what I mean? I go and ask him, yo, God, what's the science with that? He's somebody that I respect. That's the guy and shit. So he was the first one that broke that down. Like, nah, God, this is from 1933. That's from 1934. All right. You know what I'm saying? That's some science now. My disciple breaking it down. You know what I mean? And then he got locked up and he said he read the Bible and became Christian. And he's an individual. 23 degrees, 99 degrees. You understand what I'm saying? No matter what, we were in the same building. He was one of the brothers. He said he read the Bible. And I'm still to this day trying to figure out, what did you read in the Bible? Like, what did you, like, after having the knowledge of self, right? What could you have read in the Bible that convinced you it was true? And the wild shit is, after that, I seen him, right? I seen him, and he was like, he still was like, yeah, peace, God, yeah, God, I heard you elevated, like crazy and everything, boom, boom, boom. And he's talking to me like I didn't hear that you became Christian. These are a whole bunch of people. It was Darkim, the legendary. The legendary. Darkim was like your cousin. You got that good cousin that's always doing some good shit. Like every time you hear about this motherfucker, this is how you hear it. But why can't you be more like him? Yeah, he just did this right here. Why? What's wrong with you? Why can't you do stuff like he do? That was Darkim. Darkim knowledge 120 lessons in like 2 days or some shit. It was either 2 weeks or 2 days. You know what I'm saying? His name rang bells for that. Not so much teaching, but his name rang bells for that. You know what I'm saying? I never forget first time I saw Darkim and he didn't know his lessons. you know. And I remember when I seen him, it had been a while since I seen him. Like he was somebody that I knew him from the ciphers and everything, but he wasn't somebody who was around us every day. You know what I'm saying? And you know, so when I first seen him, like by now, like, you know, we getting knowledge, like, yeah, you jump way out, son. Like you jumped the line on motherfuckers, saying like, you know what I'm saying? You jumped the line on motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying? Like just by virtue of quoting the lessons, you going way over everybody here. You know what I mean? So, you know, when I've seen them by now, yeah, I got a little, you know what I'm saying? I got a couple sword fights under my belt now, you know what I mean? But when I remember I seen him, I was like, damn, motherfucking boy, I can't just going, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to, we're gonna see what it is right now. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just remember seeing him and you know, when I asked him the degree, he hit me with the you know, I can't quote it right now, but if you tell me what it is, you know, I can give you the understanding, God, that's the best part, blah, 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 blah. Get the fuck out of here. You know, that was one of those ones. You know, that was petty. That was petty, but I was a kid. You know, I noticed that you got a lot of people so right. I was might have just turned 17. I probably was still 16. We had the Nas little kids. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that was one I had to casually drop that. I had to casually drop that when I was a disciple, like, yeah, son, seen Darkim today. Yeah, he ain't know his lessons. I had to let that little coinky thing be known. But yeah, he was another brother that you know, like I said, because he learned 120 lessons in like 2 days or whatever it was, a week, you know what I'm saying? You know, he had a kind of aura to him, you know what I mean, of, you know, who he was going to be as a 5%. You understand what I'm saying? But upon careful examination, turns out, nah, you know. So that's why you got to be aware of, look, everybody. See, like the people who came here, you see, first of all, that's the right thing because, like I said, I can just tell you about shit right now. See, there's some aspects of it, you know, in terms of 120 lessons, can you memorize it? You know, can you quote it? But can you really gain and express the understanding? Can you really live it out? Can you really manifest power through it? See, these are other aspects, man, that you can't get over the internet. You know what I'm saying? It's not just that part, but, you know, in terms of me, right? When a person comes, right? A person ain't never came, right, to 21, 22, right, and found out that I don't really do the classroom here. You know what I'm saying? You know, the brothers here don't really know me. And see, that's just the simplicity of word is bond. Whoa. All right, somebody's really doing a spam number here. I'm not sure who you are here, but how did I get you? I got a picture of time. So I don't know. It's hacked. What is this? What is this? Made me forget what I was talking about. Made me lose my pattern. So I said, I'm out here in the Providence plantations. I didn't meet a guy until 10 years ago who ended up being in my life over years. Yeah, you know, but you know, all of those things, man, New York is an example, but you got to look at it from both angles. You know what I mean? When something is an example, right? When we know and understand that time is continuing to pass. You understand what I mean? That's why we renew history and don't repeat it. You see what I mean? Time is continuing to pass. So even if something was perfect for yesterday, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be perfect for today. You understand what I'm saying? So when I'm saying that to say that the history of New York, a lot of things we talk about, right? You got to be able to take the best part and leave the rest alone, right? And saying that to say that, see, out there in the Providence plantations, right? See, y'all now. See, out there, y'all firstborn prince and God Supreme and Dumar and El Nahim and all the people, right, that's going to manifest it over there. You understand what I'm saying? And see, that's another reason why, or another thing that you can use to safeguard you from being caught up. Is that you got to realize that, Mecca is where you make it. And yeah, this is called Mecca. And I'm saying where y'all at in the Providence plantation, that's y'all Mecca. And y'all got to make all things manifest from knowledge to born over there. So see, when you're in a cipher like that, you got to remember the things that you're looking for that you can't find, that's because you the person. You the person to do that. See, just the fact that your mind works in a way that you conceived of that. See, even if it didn't exist, if you conceived of it, that means you're the one that's supposed to manifest it. Instead of waiting around for some mystery gods. Yeah, Shamgar. Yeah, exactly. When you see somebody, right, you meet a person, they say, I used to be a 5%, and they say it in a manner like they moved on to something deeper, or like that was a child's time in their life. You know what I'm saying? Well, I notice we'll always come up. You know what I'm saying? We'll always come up. Anytime a person is telling you that they've been searching and they've been trying to find this truth, I've been everything. I was 5%. But I'm gonna tell you something though, Shamgar, you gotta take it both ways. See, listen, this is the Embrace It channel. This is the Embrace It channel. Sometimes you gotta look at what this things is really saying. See, the reality, Shamgar, and you know this. See, we're the wholesalers of conscious people. We're the wholesalers. You can look at all the other movements. And when you look at the high-ranking members amongst them, they got some history around us. See, because we the only ones that's focused on the babies like that. So just chances are just the law of averages, right? They're gonna have first be introduced to the knowledge through us. See what I'm saying? Before you can meet dues paying, card carrying members of the NOI, there's me in your math class. That you see me in front of the school, and when you come to say what's up to me, I'm like, yo, son, don't, you know what I mean? You can't talk to me right now. You know what I mean? Like that, it was like that. Like when you first got the knowledge, right? You first got the knowledge, you know, you would be in a cipher, and one of your friends would come up to talk to you, and yo, the guys do not break the cipher. And it's like, yo, you can't even say nothing to help your friend. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you in the army now, son. You dealing with the military training of men. See, that's what you first see. And then when you see, well, what y'all talking about? Why y'all being like that? You hear saying that the black man is God. You know what I'm saying? Or people come outside the school, you come outside the school and you see that crowd of kids right there, you don't know what's going on. Like, yo, was it a fight or something? Nah. The guys from Truman came up here to build with us. So now we having a real powwow. You know what I'm saying? And because the other people don't know the guys from Truman, they don't know what's going on. So everybody's crowded around. And you hear us saying that the black man is God. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, if a person is from New York, if me and you is experiencing them, right? They probably, but that's better than the fake people. That's better than the fake people. That you be around them a whole bunch of times, right? You be around them, you know them for a period of time. And then somebody that they know tells you, yeah, you know you should be a 5%, right? Wait, what? What was that? Wait. Oh, I see, said the blind man. But that's what I'm saying, though. It's a double-edged sword. That you gotta take the good with the bad. I embrace it. You understand what I'm saying? That we the wholesalers of this shit. And no matter where you go around the world, right? Especially because of the impact that New York has, right, on world culture, and because of the impact that hip hop has on world culture, because it came out of New York, you won't be able to tell the history of the world without mentioning the 5%. It was Darkim with tall African brother. Nah. Well, he was tall. He was tall. I don't think Darkim was African, you know, but I mean, you know, Africa, you know, there's 1,000 phenotypes. You know what I'm saying? There's 1,000 phenotypes, so you know, necessary, you know, but he didn't look at it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. If a person, you know, look, I acknowledge all that. Like, see, it's one thing at your job, you know, your parents. There's some people that's like, you know, look, they set in their ways, they're gonna call you what they call you, right? Like, look, you at your gig to make money and get a check, right? Teach on your own time. So you go over there, they call you by your honorable name. And I'm saying, you know, you have motherfuckers like, see, let's take a brother here, let's take somebody, let's take somebody, hold on, let me find, I don't want to pick on them. All right, like, look, we got eternal son-in-law, right? Now, look, you got times where you would say eternal. You gotta be, my name not eternal, God. My name eternal son Allah. You just, you know, you can't even. Yo, SW, yo, my name not SW. My name eternal son Allah. Stand on my square. Everybody else call you Charles. Do you think I'm sucker? I'm soft or something? Why everybody, even the young kids? How come the 5% is the only ones that call you I eternal son of law? You gotta say the whole thing. You can't just say I eternal. It's you know, look. You know how you see those signs where it says, you know, such and such, look, eternal son was here. You should be able to tell that, you know, somebody planted some seeds. You should be able to see the fruit. You should be able to see the trees. See, if it existed then the impact should be able to be detected now. See, every person in your history that existed is recorded in your genes. Yeah, word is bond. Complete. That used to happen. Even the police used to respect the cipher. Even the police knew not to break the cipher. That was serious. That was serious business. Like, even when you had the knowledge, it's like, yo, lad, if you got a question, save it to the end. But if it's not your turn to build, see, because it's about law and order too. It's about order. We learn, you don't just blurt out. Especially, look, we might be in the site, might be 30, 35, 40 people. And keep it moving. Yeah, you're right. So like I said, everybody who used to be here are the men somewhere else, yeah. That's what we do because see, we not, we not out there, we not speech givers. We grassroots, we neighborhood. I ain't talking about the LA, what they talking about LA, just for clarity. I'm saying we neighborhood dudes. You know what I'm saying? We about, look, these cats right here in this school, this is where we teaching at. This is where we being God at. This is where we manifesting signs. But the God I be as who is the forgotten prophet, getting back to the title, which is, because we're about to get out of here. So let's Queen Mecca. I saw you made some comments. I wasn't able to see it because YouTube never lets Queen Mecca's comments stay up. Yeah, see, you got a lot of people though. You got a lot of people. Like I knew brothers that names were so long that by the time they said Allah, I forgot all the other stuff they said. Like one time I was in a party and the brother told me his name for about a minute and a half, son. Like the amount of time that it took me to get the words out. Of course, he had just came out of jail. But the sale with the merchandise, oh yeah, you missed the sale. I think, yeah, it was over. It was over, I think was it over last night? It might be. If you go through the what's your name, but there'll be another one by next week. We'll do another one. But you know what I'm gonna do? When I get off of here, we do a 1 day. We do a 1 day jump off. Now I was born. We didn't get a chance to get all the way into that story, but that was quite interesting. One about informants being paid $548 million and also granted immunity from their crimes. That definitely took me back. Then we get 25 hours, we do 25 hours. You know what I mean? that story was crazy. But the God I be, though, getting back to the Forgotten Prophet, yeah, that was this show right here I dedicated to my old earth. You know, even though she doesn't watch the show, you know what I'm saying? Um, you know, today I took the time to acknowledge, oh yeah, the law school zip there. You know what? Malik Lama, that's gonna be in the store at the same time. Like by, you know, like I said, I'm gonna be off your hand in a minute. So say like by 10:30-ish, you'll be able to order the law school zip down, and we're gonna have the 10% 25-hour set. But yeah, I just take the time to acknowledge, because, you know, I talk about my pops a lot, and the things how he taught me the principles, you know what I'm saying? Like certain things he already told me that me and him was one and the same. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, like, you know, look, your sister, that's what my daughter, but she's not like us. You know what I'm saying? Like to the point where he actually, you know, he used to play chess a lot. And a lot of times he'd be playing chess and he'll call me over, right? And he would say, go take a leap for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way he was explaining, is that me and you is so much the same that when you take a leap, I'm taking a leap. And when I take a leap, you taking a leap. And just other stuff, he used to read stuff and break it down for me. But we're not talking about him again. Like I said, we talk about him all the time. You know what I'm saying? You know, my old earth, you know, she sharpened my sword, you know, in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? She couldn't come to the battlefield with me. You know what I'm saying? But she made sure I was armored up. You know what I'm saying? And just thinking about how she contributed to, you know, even me coming into the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, probably the first thing was just the academics. You understand what I'm saying? She didn't teach me the supreme alphabet, right? But she taught me my ABCs. She taught me how to read. She didn't teach me supreme mathematics, but she taught me arithmetic. She taught me how to count, how to add, subtract, and read, and all those things. And then, you know, she told me that, look, this is how you got to figure out the world right here. And she showed me how to do everything for myself so that, you know what I'm saying, I didn't have to just take things on face value. You know what I mean? Like just little lessons, like, look, if you get lost, right, you know how to read them. So read the signs. You know what I'm saying? This is where we live at right here. So if you see a sign that says that, you understand what I mean? You know where to go. You see what I'm saying? So by doing that, you know, that's one of the things that it put me in a certain mindset that this is how I'm looking at Christianity. Because I'm reading it for myself. I'm learning Christianity from people that's illiterate. I'm talking about peace. I'm talking about literally illiterate. I'm not talking about how we say now, where a person is not educated in the knowledge of themselves. I'm talking about people, you know, my great grandmother never went to school. Like I knew people that signed X for their name. You understand what I'm saying? But as I'm reading this shit, it's not saying the same thing. Like, see, I'm going to Sunday school And we reading the shit right here where it says Jesus is black. And then we walk out into the church because the Sunday school class is in the annex. And then we walk into the church and it's the blonde haired, blue eyed Jesus. You understand what I'm saying? And the type of mindset she gave me by showing me how to, you know, acquire knowledge for myself and analyze it for myself. If she didn't do that, I might not never notice those inconsistencies. You know what I'm saying? You know, just other things, you know, she put a lot of knowledge around me in my cipher. You know what I'm saying? She bought me and my sister the Encyclopedia Britannicus. Like I had the official set, and my little sister, she had the little kid set with the pictures and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I read the whole thing, both volumes. You know what I'm saying? So that was another thing that was an advantage when I came into the knowledge. That, you know, a lot of the facts that you need to show and prove 120 lessons, I already knew about that. You see all different signs where, you know, people talking about life and where it come from and cells and atoms and AllahChrist. I already knew that because I had read those whole things. I just ain't know what it meant. And see, that was another thing that, see, even once I got the knowledge, right? See, that improved me as a candidate. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, you know, people come, right? Say people come to the class, right? They candidates. So that's what a lot of y'all don't understand. You're not a private soldier. You just a recruit. And you try and talk like you the general. See, you got a lot of people, you're not a lieutenant. You're not a private soldier. You damn sure ain't a captain. You're just a recruit. We don't even know if your word is bond. But saying that when I'm as a recruit, right? I'm a recruit that already went to ROTC. Because I already got the knowledge. So, you know, as brothers is, you know, helping me along the path, they seeing that, okay, we can advance track this brother right here. Yo, God, come over here, we build with you. You know, we see some other pieces here that's missing that here, you know, hold that, God. Brothers, you should talk to me like that. Hey, God, just acknowledge that, God. Like, no, don't even try to analyze it, God. Just remember that I told you that, God. Just keep it in mind, God. Don't even analyze. No, I ain't telling you. That's happened to me a lot. You can see, like I said, you got to know in chess, you got to know how all the pieces move in order to be successful. So people start say, okay, you got a couple pieces over here you ain't good with. Let me show you how to move these. You know, all those kind of things like that. She never told me nothing. You know, I think she probably just looked at it because, you know, it's not like my pops was ever not in my life. So, I don't, you know, she probably let him talk about that. She never told me nothing like that. Nothing, you know, men should do this, do that, none of that. But she made sure that I developed in the environment, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, when I came into the knowledge, right, because she gave me an Arabic honorable name. So when I came into the knowledge, she said, yo, I knew you was going to explore Islam. Like as opposed to my sister, because she got an Arabic name. She was like, yeah, I knew she was, I knew you was going to explore. And just a couple other things she said where it's like, wait a minute, if you knew that, why you let me waste 14 years doing this whole Christian stuff? What was that about? He said, what makes many of our old earths so important in many of our lives instead of our old dads? Because you never went through that, you never went through that rite of passage. You know, a lot of brothers, you got so close to your moms, right? That you couldn't cut the umbilical cord because it would break her heart. And you still inside her stomach. What she feel, you feel. You remember it was the scene in Roots when Kunta went Kunta went to the place where you get initiated into manhood. And when he came back, he was building his house and shit. You know what I'm saying? And his moms came to tell him something. Whatever she came to tell him, he was like, yo, look, woman, you know, I'm handling some business right now. Go ahead. And she was crushed. And then her mother, his grandmother comes like, yo, you know, I know you're a man now and all that, but you know, you don't got to be that cold with her or whatever. See, a lot of brothers ain't never went through that rite of passage that where you know that, listen, see how we used to say, see, this is toxic. This is toxic masculinity right here. You know what I mean? Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Right now, press mute. Press mute if you know, you're a little bit fragile, you don't want to be triggered. All right. See, you never reached the point where you understand that sometimes a man's got to do what a man's got to do. See, you don't hear that kind of shit, man. It's toxic. See, when you, see, we got Arabi in the house. See, Arabi, see, Arabi know what I'm talking about. And see, 793 said they'll be all right, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? He word his mom. You know, when you reach that point, yeah, masculinity is not toxic. Indeed, I be. You know what I'm saying? But just saying that, you know, in this current, you know, me being a big YouTuber and all, you know, you're supposed to be saying those kind of things. You know what I'm saying? But you know, basically, you know, you take on all of your mother's hurts. You understand what I mean? Like you identify with her so much and you take on all of her hurts. You know what I'm saying? And the number one hurt a lot of brothers take on is that animosity with their father. Well, I ain't gonna say number one, but I'm just saying, just in reference to your particular question. You know what I mean? Because that's not the same thing. It's not saying that that happens with every mother and every son. You understand what I mean? But in those situations, yeah, right. Yeah, see, see these kind of words, you know, equivocating. You know what I'm saying? Where you try to make your behavior equal with what somebody else is doing or what they think. You know what I mean? You say one thing and then this person express that they not with it and then you change it. Yeah, that's not a man trait. You know what I mean? Because that means, what did you do it for in the beginning? Like if you did it for a good reason in the beginning and the person ain't present no information or no knowledge that would change that, right? Then what you changing it for? But you can't, see, that's where the city signs change. I got a question for you. I've got a question for you. Why don't women leave the seat up? Like, why is that a why is that like a one-way thing? Like it's civilized. If you're civilized, you leave it that. See, I noticed that a lot of times you will hear brothers say that. Brothers just say, well, I grew up in a house with a whole bunch of women. You know what I'm saying? So, I always, niggas virtue signaling. I always leave the toilet seat down. But see, that's you grow up with your pops and, this is not a thing. This is, you know what I'm saying? You bitch, you probably all you want. You know what I'm saying? It's just a question, bro. Lee Lowe said, I came from a two-parent household, meaning both were there physically, and my peers, on the other hand, primarily only had the women. Many were on drugs or incarcerated. I mean, that's a whole other, we don't even want to go through that. We don't even want to go through that ball of wax right now. We at the end of this live. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole other thing. But so yeah, then you will. That's probably one of the reasons you asked that question. I'm saying, you understand what I mean? Is that you've seen a more balanced situation. You understand what I'm saying? Both people had an opportunity to play their role, right, as the knowledge and wisdom ever since the planet was first founded. You understand what I mean? As the sun and moon have an attracting power on your planet, right? But if you only got the moon having attracting power on your planet, right? Or, if you only got wisdom, or you got wisdom and knowledge ever since the planet was first founded, you're gonna have a little bit different outcome. Yeah, that's true too. You know what I'm saying? Just because you had a two-parent household doesn't mean you didn't see. Yeah, because look, you could have both your parents could have been crackheads. But they stayed together and lived in the house. I seen that plenty of time. Crackheads, alcoholics. So, they stay, so, it's all different dynamics. You know what I'm saying? But, that's part of what happened. That's just the situation. You know what I mean? Where the family dynamic is just, thrown off in 1,000 different directions. So a lot of things are difficult to say. But yo, everybody that made it this far, do the each one, teach one, hit the like button, share this on your other channels, your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc., etc. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we're gonna be back on tomorrow at 7. We came on today at 7, of course, a little bit late. But you know, me and oh yeah, Omicron. Did you see the brother sent me a link to VC Realm? He didn't come on today, but VC Realm sent me a link. I teach never came on you. Tell us about I gotta finish my vitamin drink here. But there's a movie, apparently it's an Italian movie that was made in 1964. And the name is Omicron, and it's about an alien parasite that infects a human host. What do you think about that for Coinky Dinks? IB? What do you think about that little Coinky Dink there? Oh yeah, the merch site is what is it? Oh, maybe I don't know why. That's the link right there. Wait. Why is it two different? Oh, that's way back. Yeah, that's the link right there to the what's your name? But yeah, I did, you know, I did have that feeling too. Malik Lowe, and Malik said here that I was called a Cosby kid growing up. You know, I did detect that. You know what I'm saying? Like growing up, like, did you know? I'm telling you a strange thing about me. Did you know that I had no idea that there was this reputation of Black men for not taking care of their kids. Like that don't really exist in my family. Like every, you know, like all of my great grandfathers, father, like everybody, you know, I like all the people that I said that I know them, or I heard of them. Maybe they passed away before I was born, but you know, my uncles and my older cousins know them. You know what I'm saying? So I actually got in an argument with this girl that, and you know, she was like at the point of tears where she's trying to tell me that, you know, dudes be abandoning kids. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like I had no idea. This woman, what's this crazy stuff she's saying? But I just, you know, just the family dynamic, that's how it was, you know what I'm saying? Like even if people split up, you know, if we had like a family event, they would still be there. You understand what I'm saying? You know, like, so oh yeah, the family, the hats, look, I got this other little connect for the hats. I'm trying to expand out, Shop Princess here, just love. Right, peace. Welcome to the channel. hit the like button and subscribe. Yeah, see that type of stuff like that, man. A brother who literally just met his pops after his mom's told him he was dead for years said the same in my pop service about Cosby. Yeah, and look, I seen it with my kids too. That the which hoodie and 2X. Because a lot of things that was out of stock is back in stock. So you gotta check. But yeah, I seen it with my kids too, right? Where my two sons was friends with these other two brothers. They was physical brothers too, right? And one day they came to the house, right? And just I don't know how it came up, what they was talking about or whatever, but the one kid was like, yo, wait a minute. He's both of y'all pops? And he's your father and your father? Yo, get out of here. Yo, that like they was bugging out. Like they didn't even know that could happen or something. So, things get normalized though. You know what I'm saying? There's other things, right, about me that was normalized that, yeah, I didn't realize that shit wasn't normal until I got to adult person. You know what I'm saying? Like the collapse of society in New York City, in the 70s and the 80s, that was I didn't realize that's what happened. Like I just looked at some things, some things to me was like, oh yeah, now that's, white shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, living in a neighborhood where the shit is not all strewn with garbage. Like, yeah, some white shit. I'm not realizing that, this shit is, social collapse. But, one of the things that happens with social collapse is you don't have rules. So you having all types of fun. Really blessed that I felt funny about that. And I understood I was just growing up and it was myriad reasons for them calling me such. But yeah, I mean, you can't just be, saying dumb jokes like Theo's. If you come to school with a Gordon Gartrell on, that could be, people could look at that. People could look at that and say, you being real Cosby. Right, complete. Yeah, Jamaica, Queens. A lot of neighborhoods, yeah, it was a different place before crack. You know what I mean? But we marked those kinds of time here on Random Jewels. BC before crack, AD after dope. That's when I grew up. I was right there in that little window. Ooh. 7 out of Thursday. In the 90s, kids as Old Earth Junior High School ran up and told her that her boyfriend was here. She had to tell them that was her husband, as if they ain't know her. Yeah, I mean, these is the things that, that have become normalized. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, we'll get back into it. You know what I mean? We'll check it out, get into some of this what might be viewed as toxicity or whatever, but you know, that's for the City Science channel. In the meantime, in between time, you know what I'm saying, the G building, we had a little activity today. We had a little minor G building activity, but we didn't have to break out the Thorazine. So that was a good thing, you know what I'm saying? But you know, as we do every Monday and Tuesday, we sign off from the G building with peace.